we got a lot of work going into this, getting everything set up and marked and priced, you know, and pulled out. So it has some organization to it. But hopefully a lot of people show up.
That'll be great. I finally, my stuff was old that I used to go to. So I finally just gave it to a friend that probably didn't need it as much as some, but you know, I thought maybe it would help him, and sometimes he'll send me a referral.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, a lot of strategies and thought processes and stuff like that, that'll never change. You know, the thing that's different today is a lot of the technology used is different today than it was. So, but
it sounds like several of your members are working with the Real Flow and enjoying it. So that's great.
I hope so. I'm going to have another class on it here for too long.
Great.
I just, you know, trying to have time, you know, trying to finish up this rehab that we're doing, and should have already been done, but hopefully tomorrow when I go, it'll be ready.
I like your new background.
Yeah, I've been playing with different ones, trying to come up with something. I'm not sure I like this color. It's so light, but we'll see. Welcome, David. You can unmute yourself if you'd like.
Good. I guess it's afternoon. How are you?
Yes, it is. I'm doing okay. And you?
I'm good. I actually watched that demo yesterday on the estimator and signed up. It's a really nice tool.
Cool. So make sure, let me know. Hopefully you can come to our Christmas party maybe.
Yeah, planning it.
We have a bonus package for those that sign up for the premium website update from the creator of it. Mike Jacka is the one you met on the call. He's the one that did it. He has provided me with several goodies for our members that do upgrade to the premium site. So we need to make sure that we give that to you.
Yeah, I did it through your link.
Yeah. So I need to, I'll have Michelle put together your package, and she'll have it at our meeting on Saturday.
All right.
Saturday, 4 December. Will you be able to come?
I'm planning on it.
Okay, good.
You know, life happens, but right now, yes.
Cool. No, I understand life happens. So, okay.
Yeah, you know, it's nice seeing all your faces and such, but it's even nicer to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, welcome everybody. This is our monthly lunch and learn that we do. We have a small crew here today, so there may be some more. There were several others registered, but you're welcome to unmute yourself and just kind of stay live, and we can have a conversation here. And this group is usually a little bit smaller, but it's really for anybody. It's not just a members only event. So we're here to talk about whatever you want to talk about and see if we can't help you with some deals or questions on membership. The first thing I do want to do though, before we start, so I don't forget about it, is I just want to point out our events on the calendar. Today's the 18th, so we're at the virtual lunch. Oh, can you see the calendar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So, but tomorrow and Saturday, I'm doing a real estate investor, what I call garage sale. I'm trying to dispose of a lot of the stuff that I've been collecting all these years, both educational material of all kinds, you know, books, CDs, full-blown courses, DVDs, so on and so forth. But also I've got a lot of leftover rehab materials, parts, paint, things like that. I've got a computer monitor, computer chair, and I may have a computer as well if I can finish cleaning it up. But we're going to have a ton of stuff here that's going to be deeply, deeply discounted. We're going to have a lot of freebies for those people that do purchase items. I got a ton of free stuff I'm going to give away too. So I hope you can come out. It's going to be Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. The times are on the calendar. If you are interested, but those times don't work for you, then just reach out to us here in the office and we can schedule a time with you that's convenient for you, and you can come take a look at what we have. But we have a lot of it. We have 3 different rooms in our office with stuff in it. So hopefully you can come visit. Not only that, we get to see your smiling face. So who wants to be first? I think we've all met. Sean, you've been on here before, correct?
Yeah, I was at just one time before this, I guess.
Okay. As we always do, these are meant to be networking events. Hopefully in the near future, we're going to go back to a physical lunch and learn. But in the meantime, you're welcome to use the chat to put in your contact information and what you do, what you're looking to buy. If you're actively buying, you can put that all in the chat. That way everybody has it on the call. And other than that, I'm gonna open it up to anyone on the floor here. Whoever has a question or a comment or anything at all, let's go ahead and kick it off.
I'll take it, Tim. I have to leave at about 12:20, by the way.
Okay.
But what application do you use to do call outs and texting, etc.?
So I don't use any kind of app for calling. Some people do, I don't. I am just now testing a text service that I'm going to use for this group, and that is called Easy Texting. You may have heard of a company called CallFire. Well, they were pretty well known. Well, they've either been bought out or merged or something with a company called Easy Texting. And you should have all received a text message from me about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And that was my first test of it. I got to go finalize that membership. I was on a free trial period. I'm going to go implement that, and I'm not going to use it to inundate people, but I'm going to use it to help send reminders about our upcoming meetings and maybe deals and stuff like that for the group. I don't want to inundate people with another message, but some people are having trouble with the email, not getting the emails about our events. So that's what I want to use that for, is supplementing that.
Well,
Now, one more thought.
okay.
The other piece is regarding text and voicemail. I do use RealFlow. RealFlow is a CRM tool.
Yeah.
And I'd use that for everything. But with RealFlow, people have to opt into it in order for you to communicate with voice or text messaging. And that's not a text tool or anything. It's just text, and voice messaging is another feature of the tool. The tool does a lot of things. And you'll see an announcement on the calendar here pretty soon about doing another RealFlow event. And you can learn more about it there if you don't know anything about it. But the text and voice are just another feature of RealFlow that you can use.
So when you get a distressed seller list, you're just phoning them? What's your procedure?
I normally do direct mail.
Okay.
I am not a huge cold caller. Never have been and probably never will be. I'm thinking about hiring a VA to start calling, to setting appointments, but I like it when people come to me.
No, I understand. It's just I'm not successful having them come to me. So I'm just thinking I need to change strategy and go to them.
Yep. So, and quite honestly, you should try a variety of things. It's just at this point in my business, I just don't have the time or patience to call people all the time. I just don't do that.
No,
So,
I
so
understand.
what we're doing is we're really trying to fix our websites, by increasing blog posts, increasing our Google rankings, and doing direct mail,
Okay,
and all of those hopefully work together. So we're ramping up our blog efforts on probate and pre-foreclosure, and we're ramping up our blog efforts for we're ramping up our blog efforts on all kinds of different topics.
okay,
But I'm trying to really get that cooking so that people find it easier to reach us. And of course, the more people that go to our website, that helps with search engine optimization with the Google and stuff as well.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, who's next?
What's a good way to, I guess, to find fixer flips or wholesale deals even in this market? It just seems really tight from what I've seen. Maybe I'm going about it wrong, but.
What are you doing today, Sean?
I'm just looking. I've signed up with a couple wholesalers, and I'm just kind of, I guess, Redfin, or just just driving around, places like Sherman, maybe Gainesville, Texas, just some of your smaller towns. But I guess, how do you know what's a good margin? I mean, in this market, I guess it's,
So that's a really big answer.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different answers and a lot of different viewpoints, and a lot, everybody's got a little bit different business model. So let me start by saying it's tough for all of us today.
Yeah.
It's not an easy market. It's a hot seller's market. Has been for quite a while, and hopefully that's going to change before too long. But we don't know that. So, there's a lot of wholesalers out there that are selling properties, but a lot of those, I believe, are selling properties overpriced and selling them to a lot of people that are out of state that have a lot of money from California or wherever, and can afford to pay the extra money.
Sure.
So, but a lot depends on the business model too. If you have a house that's the ARV is 200,000, and you want to go in and do a full rehab, like if I go in and do a rehab, it's expensive for me because I have certain things that I always do on a full rehab. And that means that I've got to be able to buy it at a deeper discount, where there's a lot of people that think they're rehabbing and all they do is throw paint and carpet in it and call it a rehab. So they can afford to buy it at a higher price.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is, what's your exit strategy? Do you already know? Have you done any rehabs?
No, I mean, just on my own houses that I've bought, and I've rehabbed them and then just sold them.
What's your exit strategy going to be?
Well, I mean, I've looked at the Burr method. I mean, it just depends on if it's a good rental area. I mean, that's what I was thinking is, because that's really the only way you can do rentals, it seems, in this market, is if you would, fix them and consider flipping them, because then you create added value just by fixing them up and either adding a bedroom or whatever, and then either see if it's a viable renting market or flip it to get the cash right away to buy something else. I mean,
yeah. So you have to know what you're doing. You got to have the team that can do it at the right price. You got to be able to turn it quickly. Doing a very nice rehab is one thing, but if it should have been done in 2 months and it took 6, that's eating into your profit, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, all of these things come into play. As far as finding deals, man, it's tough. You just have to keep looking everywhere. I mean, I don't think you're gonna find many with, as far as true deals with wholesalers. So that means that you need to be looking for opportunities to deal with the sellers themselves, driving neighborhoods, looking for those ugly houses, vacant houses, maybe doing some direct mail. We have lists available that, you know, you can do direct mail to for pre-foreclosures, probates, absentee owners. You know, those are all good candidates in today's market, but you have to be able to get to that seller with your message on how Sean can help the seller before anybody else does. And I don't think that you're going to find many of those opportunities with wholesalers. I could be wrong, but I just find it hard to find any deals like that. I've been in the business 21 years this year. So I've almost unsubscribed from almost all these nationwide wholesale groups and large wholesale brokerages just because the prices are so outrageous.
Yeah, that's what I've seen too.
And of course, that's being reflected in the retail market too. I've been watching those in all the new listings. And, you know, I get these different notices on new listings, and what I'm seeing on these, I saw one the other day, it was Lisa's going to laugh at this one. In Weatherford, it was $200,000 for a 537 square foot house.
Wow.
$200,000, 500 and something square feet house. It was cute as all get up, but 200,000 for a 500 square foot shack. You know, that is a lot of moolah, and there's no way you can make that work as an investment property.
No.
And, you know, I can see from a lot of these pictures, the new retail listings, MLS listings, that a lot of these guys are just in it for the opportunity. You can tell that the rehab they're doing just isn't, you know, that nice. You know, they're putting new countertops on. A lot of them are Formica, not granite. They're not putting ceiling fans in living rooms. You know, they're going in as cheap as they can. They're not refacing the cabinets or replacing cabinets. They're just throwing on a new set of hardware, if that. And it's just, you can tell that they're cheap rehabs. And then most of them have no curb appeal to them at all.
Yeah, they probably have to because of the margins. I suppose they probably can't go in with a full rehab. It just doesn't pay.
That could be it, or it could be that they don't have a clue what they're doing.
Yeah, that too.
But they could be buying it so tight that there is no budget for that. So, you know, there's a lot of factors. There is no one answer to, you know, your question, other than you got to never give up, and you got to always be looking and trying to set appointments. And
Is he looking for his tape?
Now, what you can do if you've got a motivated seller that's willing to do creative financing, you know, you may be able to get a better deal if you can structure a low down payment or no down payment type offer with low to no interest or low to no payments for some period of time. And that may help you with cash flow and you know, the turning it around and offering it with owner finance to your buyers. Then you can increase the value of the property that way and make some more money on it that way. But, you know, you gotta think creatively and get out of the box in some cases. A lot depends on, is your seller motivated to work with you though?
Yeah.
And you also have to make sure that you are pulling good, solid comps. You know, what are the comps in that area? What are the days on market? How do the recently sold properties compare to the homes that you are trying to buy and rehab? You know, can you tell that, you know, that they were rehabbed nicely, or was it just a paint and carpet rehab? And how does that price compare to what you had in mind?
So your comps probably, of course, the best would be the MLS, probably to
Absolutely.
pull your comps, because can't really trust Zillow, or Redfin's better, but probably not much.
So we did have a comp service available to us in the group through Real Estate IQ called Fast CMA. For those of you on the call that's been in the group a while, you may know that they are doing away with Fast CMA. That is no longer available. They're having trouble with the platform that it was written on, and it's just a constant problem. So it's no longer available. I am working on trying to get us another viable comps tool, something that's true MLS. It's going to end up being a subscription service to somebody, but there are several paid services out there, but it's well worth it for you to pay for these services so that you are able to get real comps.
Yeah.
And especially in today's market, you know, these free services out there, I would not trust them for anything as far as trying to evaluate and make decisions, especially in the market that we're in. You know, so stand by for info on that. I'm working on it. Got thrown off track with several other things going on, but I'm making a note of it again.
Hey, Tim, I need to run, but you might want to look into a company called Listing Spark. They're out of Austin.
I know of them.
Do you? And I use theirs. They let you use it, and what they want is for you to list your house with them when you flip it.
But are they giving you comps for any address you want to request comps for?
Yeah, I do a lot of. I just put them in the DFW area. I put my address in, and yeah,
I didn't realize that they provided comps in that service. But I'll check it out. There are several out there. I mean,
yeah, listings. Yeah, I use Listing Spark, and sometimes it's a little kludgy because they really want you to be around Austin. But I do get it to work. I have to mess around with it a little bit and find a house in that area that is sold or that is listed.
okay.
So if you're doing off market, it's a little more challenging, but look into Listing Spark.
I'll do it. Thank you.
Okay, I got to run, guys.
See ya.
If I don't talk to you, have a good Thanksgiving.
You too, Dave.
All right,
Take
see
care.
you.
All right, bye. Okay. Any other question there, Sean? I mean, did we help at all or confuse you or?
No, that helped. It kind of confirms what I'm seeing out there. I mean, that's, you know, I guess it's got to wait. Either the market turns, or you got to find some other way to try to do it.
Well, I don't, I mean, if you wait till the market turns, you may not be in the business. You know, I mean, the deals are out there. Remember, there's always going to be people that need help. The divorces, the probates, the pre-foreclosures, behind on taxes, you know, I mean, there's always going to be somebody that needs some help. And, you know, there's people that just don't want to list the conventional way, list with an agent, you know, and it's your job and your challenge to market to those people, you know, and you know, market, promote yourself. Do you have a website set up now?
Yeah, I have
Okay. So, you know, market with that. If it's got a blog, start blogging, you know, post classified ads to drive traffic to your site so that, you know, people know about who you are and what you do. And, you know, if you're not doing video, you might do some video about how you can help people, what your message is and so forth, you know, to appeal to people to come to you and let you try and help. I do see quite a bit of email activity for Sherman and Gainesville area. So I know there's a lot of investor stuff going on up there, but of course, a lot of those wholesalers, they're asking way too much money.
Yeah.
But somehow those people are finding those deals, and you've got to do that same thing.
Yeah.
But are you getting any lists? Are you buying lists or anything right now?
No, I haven't bought any lists or anything like that. I'm really just trying to start out here.
Okay.
So
Well, we do have a promo code for you to get the Real Estate IQ list through the group, and that gets you a 10% discount for life. And you can get, if you get the premium service, then they also have skip trace. So they come with emails and phone numbers included with the list, but there's 10 or 11 different types of lists, and you can do direct mail to them. You can call, you can email. So that's something to think about too.
yeah, that sounds good.
Tim, do you know the current cost on that? Or does it depend on how many lists you're subscribing to?
Lisa, it's been quite a while since I looked at the price. It's, the basic list, not the premium list. The basic list was pretty reasonable, but I just don't remember what it is.
Where are you getting your list from for probate?
I get it
cetera?
from Real Estate IQ.
Okay, so you're paying for it. You just don't know how much you're paying.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
That's life. I don't sit there and look at all that stuff very often.
A couple of years ago, I was subscribing to their list. I paid for it for 8-9 months, and I never did a single thing with it. And, and then I finally canceled, but yeah, that happens.
Yeah. Here's what I do with the list. We take that list and we import it into RealFlow. And I get the premium. So I have the emails and phone numbers, and I'm putting them into my email autoresponder service. Again, it's my goal to try and drive traffic to my web pages and let my web pages do the selling, so they call. So that's just one of the ways that I use that list. So I'm not sitting there getting all these leads. Now, I don't make sure every one of them's in there, but I do import those and let our websites, because all of my RealFlow websites have autoresponders. So we import them, and when you initiate the autoresponder for the foreclosure website, avoidforeclosure.com, and we buy homes and probate.com. So that's one of the ways that we're using that list.
So when you import that, are you just sending them an email?
We have an email series. It's an autoresponder. It has
Right.
about 8 or 10 emails to it.
So is it possible just going to their junk file?
It is quite possible.
And have you gotten very much response to that? I mean, I know you're trying to push them to your website.
No, I have not gotten much response from it.
So that might be why, because it's going to their junk and they never see it.
It could very well be. I'm trying to work on some local SEO stuff. I have a company that's doing that. And one of the things that helps with that is reviews. So I've really been focused on getting reviews from the customers I am helping, and that is helping. And the number of people that go to the domain names of the websites and look at the information. So people are going, it's just a lot of people are not taking the next step and responding to my various messages. So one of the things we're doing there is we're ramping up the blog posts. So we're gonna, with my new VA in place.
Oh, you finally got somebody.
I have a new VA about 3 weeks into it now. And she is working on blogs and images and video for me. And we are going to do our best to post one blog a week on my foreclosure site, probate site, and then my main TMC Property Solutions site. So we're trying to hit those at least once a week for a while to increase the traffic, increase the postings, and see if that doesn't help draw in some more activity on those web pages.
So I would think that your foreclosure list is very slim the last year.
It is. And I've talked to other people about that list, and there's not an awful lot of activity on that list. And I think you and I spoke about this, Lisa, but it's my opinion that I think a lot of the lenders and a lot of the people are waiting until the 1st of January, get through the holidays, and then start doing something with all those foreclosures. They can't sit on that, too long. But as far as the people go, those people that their forbearance period and all the protections by the government was expired in September, I think that those families are thinking, why would I want to move out of my house? Why would I want to let it go back to the bank or even think about selling when we have Thanksgiving coming up and Christmas and New Year's? That's just me. I might be wrong. But then after the 1st of the year, they might be ready to start doing something about it. Maybe. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
I don't have any experience with foreclosures, and I've never really dealt with one, so I'm still trying to learn about that. But I was looking recently at some foreclosures, and it said that they were going to go to the courthouse like last month or whatever. So if it's already gone to the courthouse, then the bank has already bought it back, right? It's too late to reach out to them, correct?
If the bank,
I don't know if the bank did or not, but like when you see the date, that it's scheduled to be put up for auction on the courthouse steps, if that's already passed, is that a good assumption that it's probably gone back to the bank at that point? It's too late to reach out to them.
I wouldn't assume that.
Okay, even though that date is passed.
You might see, watch the list. You might see that list get updated and still see it on the list. Because a lot of times those foreclosures get pulled from that list just the day of the foreclosure.
Okay, so even though that auction date has passed, it might not have happened.
That's correct.
Okay, because I'm not buying, where I'm getting this information, it's one of my realtor ends, that I can search for distressed properties and then it'll pull. It's not, I don't think it's, unless maybe there's just none there. It's either not showing me the people that are in pre-foreclosure or just the ones that have the auction date already set, because of the, few 8 people or whatever it listed for, Parker and Tarrant County. All of them, the date had already come and gone, as far as they were all August, September, and October dates of the up for auction. And I couldn't tell that anything has changed on the title doc. So I wasn't sure, whether or not the bank has taken it back or whether or not it's still out there, or if it's just even too late for an investor to step in.
So it is, for me, my approach on these pre-foreclosure leads is if it's scheduled for, let's say, the December auction, and for those that are new, the auctions are on the first Saturday of every month. I'm sorry, first Tuesday of every month. I just, because I like the subject to strategy, I like to step in, bring the payments current, and take ownership of that property. I like that approach. And I know that you got to have a little bit of time to do your due diligence and try and prevent that from happening. You want to make sure that you have plenty of time to make the payment, all that stuff. And if somebody is coming to you on the Saturday before that Tuesday auction, it's hard, if not impossible, to be able to do that at that point. Now, you could pay cash and you go to the auction, I guess, but you know, it's my goal to bring it current, take it off the list and take ownership of the home. So I don't like to market to them anything closer than 2 weeks before that auction date. That's just me personally. If I know they're like right now, I probably wouldn't market to that December auction list. I'd probably start marketing to that January, February list so that you have time to work with them.
Yeah, and I don't know on this platform if I'm even seeing any pre-foreclosures, because all the ones that I saw were, you know, like I said, their auction date was actually in the last couple of months, you know, sometime. So I just was trying to see if I could get leads off that platform, you know, but it might be reporting too late on that platform, if you know what I mean, that it's not really accurate pre-foreclosures. It's the ones that have already
And, you know,
gotten too far.
the list that comes from Real Estate IQ is 2 to 3 days after they're posted on public records. So the list is a good list. It's fresh leads, but how quickly the public records is then updated when one is pulled off the auction schedule, I don't know how quickly that happens. If you have a couple addresses, Lisa, I can go plug them into RealFlow and see what it says about pre-foreclosure history, because RealFlow will show me the dates. If it's scheduled for the auction, it'll show me those dates.
Okay. Yeah, because I just had a hard time believing that there's not other people in pre-foreclosure right now. You know, that the 8 people that I found, their dates have all been in the last month or two. So
Right.
that was my assumption, that maybe this platform isn't catching the pre-foreclosure until, you know, the auction date's already firm.
Just out of curiosity, let me pull up today's lead list from Real Estate IQ.
Okay. Yeah, because I was looking at this on Monday. I don't have it in front of me.
And this is December's that I'm pulling up. Now, this is kind of a hard thing to narrow down here, but this total list, there is a grand total of 277 properties on today's list. That's from Tarrant, Johnson, Dallas, Wichita, Smith, McLennan, Ellis, Hill, Collin, Rockwall, Navarro. That's covers all those counties. So by the time you take all those out, which I don't market to them, I go after Tarrant, Parker, Johnson, and Hood. I don't see anything on here from Hood right now, but there's still quite a few on here, but I see a lot of Tarrant County.
Okay, then maybe that program is not catching, you know, it's only catching them when it's passed.
Yep. So it's hard. I mean, one of the reasons I like to go after, so this is November, mid-November, I like to go after the January, February, March list, is that it gives me time to market to them multiple times, whether it's postcard, well, I do postcards and I do email autoresponders. So I'm trying to market to them more than one time to try and get their attention. The challenge is a lot of other people are too. So yeah, it's for everybody here. I mean, I'm sure you're experiencing the same thing. It's been slow.
Well, what I've been working on this week is doing a direct mail campaign, because like you said, there's nothing from wholesalers and need to get something going. So that's what I've been trying to decide this week, you know. what to put. The first round, I'm going to do a letter, in more farming areas, farming a couple areas, and do a letter. So
Yep.
that's been challenging, starting off something from scratch, as far as
It
just
is.
deciding what to do. And
Are you doing a handwritten letter or postcard, or what are you doing for the
I
marketing?
have decided to do just a printed letter, put my card in it, but handwrite the envelope.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a colored envelope. It's
Okay.
just something to try to get their attention, and who I'm targeting right now on this round is going to be owner occupied homeowners and, people that have a higher equity, that have been there for a little while and have some equity to negotiate.
Okay. Have you thought about selecting an age group or how the number of
Yeah,
units?
I don't have, I've played around with this list. Or a list, should I say, in certain zip codes and stuff. And I haven't finalized that. Like I said, I've kind of played around with it, but yes, I can through this platform, which is Remine. It's something that just realtors have access to. I can target age somewhat. I can target by how long they've owned it. I can target by what percentage of equity they have in it, how long they've had a loan percentage. There's various ways to target them. I was kind of looking at the ones that have 30 or 40% more equity in the home. Whether they've paid it outright or not, just as long as they had, 40% equity.
Yeah. So the one thing that I've done before, and it was a long time ago, I don't remember how many hits I got off it, but going after senior citizens that may be at a point in their life where they can no longer go up and down the stairs because of health issues or whatever, or maybe they lost a loved one and the house is just too much for them. And if they've owned the home 15, 20 years, then they have potentially a lot of equity in that house and
needing updating.
There's a good chance it needs repairs.
One of the realtors I worked with a couple of years ago, he told me that he targets the seniors, to the ones that have the senior exemption. And he said it's a double hitter if they have a pool in a 2-story house, because he said that usually they want to get rid of the pool too.
Yeah.
To target. And they can't go up and down the stairs anymore,
Now, here's something you got to consider too is, the house with the pool is additional liability to you. So,
and probably repairs too, I'm sure, if they haven't been using it.
Yep. And pool repair can get quite expensive.
Yeah. But he just said that he's found that they're the ones who really want to get out, Yeah.
And that could very well be actually a good approach, because just because the pool needs repairs doesn't mean you have to repair the pool. I mean, you can fill in the pool. That's cheaper than doing most repairs. But it may be a carrot to be able to use with the owner to get you a better deal, because they know that the pool needs a lot of repair. And a lot of homeowners buying a home, they want a pool, but they don't want to buy one that's, it needs extensive repair to it.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of them that do. I've looked at a ton of them.
I mean, other than targeting, people that have higher equity and older people, is there any other way for me to either call or add to my list, either cull it down?
Absentee owners.
Yeah.
That
I think I'll do a different campaign, you know what I mean, as far as not what I'm working on right now, as far as to target my audience, you know what I mean? like this letter is more geared toward it's their homestead.
Okay. Well, I think that either the age or the time of ownership is a good approach. And you can actually get a list for 2-story houses.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that might be a choice. And of course, you can pick the age of the home as well. I don't know if you can get a list of houses with a pool, but you might be able to.
I also can search through Realist, and I definitely can look and see who has a pull through that. You know, Realist is the realtor tax platform, you
Right,
know, for the tax record, since most houses have the pull
right.
feature on there. One of the nice things with Remon is, you know, versus if I use the tax platform, that I just get their addresses and whatnot. But with Remon, they actually will pull like all associated emails and phone numbers. So, yeah, and that's why I was kind of leaning toward, you know, using that. Because, and they even mark which ones are DNC and which ones aren't, you know. So, I mean, being that I could also layer it with sending them a letter and then a follow-up phone call a week later or whatever, you know, or email.
Well, you could also implement an email autoresponder system with that as well, since you're getting email addresses.
But I can't through the real estate promo website, can I? I don't think it has that capabilities, does it? I would have to email them out of my email.
You can
Directly.
add it. You're on the premium website.
Yes.
You can add autoresponders to that system. They are not built in like RealFlow is. You can go add your own autoresponder.
Okay, I'll have to play around with that.
I've not done that just because I have so many with RealFlow, but you can do it. That's one of the additional capabilities with that premium website upgrade.
Because I just upgraded, you know, last month, I guess, but I haven't, other than putting one blog on there, I haven't played around with it too much.
So consider increasing your blog activity on there. And you can also, there's different templates or themes to those home pages. You can select one that allows you to do YouTube video, and you can put your own YouTube video on there too.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten that deep with it yet.
Right. I'm just throwing out ideas for you, you know, ways to.
Yeah, I know one of the classes or whatever, whenever he came and talked, you know, he had said that. I just haven't, you know, I need to sit back down and watch some of their videos. I did this week, was it yesterday, watch him give the presentation again on the property analyzer, you know, and it was kind of good to go through that a second time.
Right.
And kind of playing around with it and just doing a couple of tests, you know.
I'm going to be doing one of my own calls like that, Lisa, for the group as well. You know, I certainly don't know it as well as Mike does, but I'm going to do this, especially for all of the premium members, to get people using it more, to help people get more comfortable with it.
Yeah, he didn't spend, I mean, it was adequate to just do a quick walkthrough on the property analyzer, but you know, half of the call was the difference between the basic and the premium and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I thought the whole call would be about the property analyzer, but it was, you know,
yeah,
a very brief overlay.
Yeah, it's a sales call, really.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a how-to. That's what I'm going to do. I still don't know a lot of things about it, but I'm going to do it, and we can all learn together on it. So.
The one thing after I kind of did a couple of demos, you know, just to see like if there's a loan, if it's paid off, you know, there's a lot I like about it, but what I dislike about it is it seemed like there's nothing in there on those offers or the exit plans about like if you want to hold it for a rental, you know, it's not even giving you as an investor the whole rental side of it. All that it was for you to basically lease to own, you know, rent to own option and exit strategy, but not if you hold it as a rental as an exit strategy.
It does give you the option to customize any one of those offers though.
Correct, or just to build your own, right? But I had kind of hoped that, it'd be easy for me to click to see, but it was all the lease to own versus you holding it as a rental.
I'll look at it, see if there's anything I can come up with it.
Because if it could do that, which you would have to plug in somewhere like, what you think the ARV for rents are. But if it could do that, to me, it would be a lot more robust for me,
Okay,
to not have to analyze that somewhere else or on a separate platform. If I could do it all in there, and maybe that's a good suggestion for him,
yeah, I'll see if I can't talk to him. I wish I'd have known that sooner because I was just on our pro admin training earlier for all the REI Club owners. So.
Well, and I had assumed it would until, like I said, I started plugging, numbers in and doing different scenarios like house paid off, small mortgage, log mortgage, to see what offers it would spit out in the exit strategies. And like I said, it was all the exit strategies of lease to own. I'm going to sell it to you for so much down and you're going to lease to own for so long.
Yeah.
But it didn't have just straight up as a rental,
Okay, I'll talk to him. I'll see what I can figure out. Harita, is that how I say it? Do you have anything?
Yes. This is the first time I'm joining you guys because usually it is during the lunch and I am busy with my other work.
Okay,
Today,
welcome.
Sure.
Do you have any questions today for us?
Actually, I was thinking of getting into multifamily and I don't see a lot of deals right now. Do you see anything actually?
Well, I don't really do much with multifamily, if anything at all. I was actually presented with a potential opportunity this last week, but nothing's happened with it. So, but I really don't know what to tell you there. I've purposely stayed away from, I started to look at multifamily and I just started doing too many different things and couldn't do them all at once. So I just backed off it and just stick to single family homes. We have some other members in the group that do multifamily, but they're not on the call today.
Okay.
I can tell you that, going down that path takes a lot longer to get the deal with all the analysis that you have to do and, getting all the funding for it, so forth, the rehab, the contractors, all that stuff. So it takes quite a bit longer to get paid on those.
When you say multifamily, you are referring to 5 or more units, correct?
Yes. I mean, I couldn't find anything more than single family. Actually, I couldn't find even the duplex or triplex.
Oh, there's duplex, triplex, and fourplexes out there.
Okay. But I mean, starting of the year, they were at I could find something affordable, but right now I don't think they are way overpriced right now. That's what I felt.
I think everything is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the key word there is affordable, right? I mean, right now the market's just crazy.
Yeah.
But it could be how you're looking for them, because sometimes you have to search for a duplex and search for a triplex, because single family is not the same as duplex and triplex and quad.
Right.
But once you go over 4, then your financing changes. And like he said, it becomes more difficult. because that's considered commercial.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, anything at all? We're just about out of time. It's been a little bit smaller attendance today, so we haven't had to run over, I don't think, but. And
Well, if nobody else has a question, I'll ask about who you get your postcards from, because I'm looking at that too, that the second wave, the second mail out, me to do a postcard instead of a letter. And I've been kind of trying to cross a few different platforms, but who do you use? Who do you think is most cost effective?
so right now I'm doing all of my mail outs using RealFlow. And my postcards are costing me, it was 35 cents, but I think it went up a few pennies with this last postal increase. I'll have to check for sure, but it was 35 cents a piece. That's pretty darn cheap because that's the postcard and postage.
Yeah, because most of what I look for, you're paying about 30 cents just for the postcard.
Right. And then, postcard stamps aren't they like 40 cents?
Yes, correct. I
So
think like,
that's why I
yeah.
haven't gone anyplace else, because of they're so cheap. Now, when I was doing something else, I was using a service called click2mail.com.
Mm.
Click the number 2 mail.com. And you can do letters and postcards. You can create your own postcard, or you can upload it. You can upload your own list. You can buy a list from them, but I always uploaded it. And they were very reasonably priced too, but they did cost more than RealFlow. So I just stopped using them.
so is RealFlow managing that, they're mailing it out for you too?
Yes.
Then that is pretty cheap, because kind of most of what I looked at, you're looking, if they mail it out, 70 cents for a small postcard and more like $1 each for a jumbo.
Now
Yeah.
they have several different sizes, but I was just choosing the small postcard. They also have a miniature yellow letter that they can send for you too. So they have a variety of choices. I'm going to be doing another RealFlow class here before too long, Lisa, and I'll see if I can't cover direct mail there. But
you have to be a RealFlow member, I'm assuming, for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's just one of the many reasons I like it, because so many things are integrated and stuff. So doesn't mean it's a perfect system though. Everything has some sort of issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? If not, I just want to remind you all about my real estate investor garage sale coming up tomorrow afternoon and Saturday morning. I've got tons of rehab materials, lights, fans, paint, books, CDs, DVDs, course material, computer chairs, all kinds of stuff here that we're trying to clean up the office and give everybody a good deal. This stuff will be super cheap, super discounted. And I got a ton of stuff, of free stuff to give away to those people that do buy stuff. So if you want to come Christmas shopping for yourself, come on over tomorrow and Saturday.
What time?
It's on the calendar, but it is, let's see if I can pull this up real quick. Tomorrow is going to be 1 to 5 tomorrow. And then Saturday is 9 to 1. What I do with my calendar.
Okay, I've got out of town clients all day tomorrow, but my husband's the one that's been looking for new office chairs. So
Okay,
We'll see if he wants to run by Friday.
yep, so here's.
He'll have to park his butt in it and see if he likes it or not.
Yep, here's the calendar, so just go register there, but it's got the times right there, 1 to
Okay.
5 tomorrow, 9 to 1 on Saturday.
Okay,
So, but we have 3 rooms here in our office with stuff set up. There's so much stuff, so we've been needing to clean this stuff out for a long time. Like I said, there's plumbing, electrical, you name it, we got it. So, all righty.
alrighty.
Well, if I don't talk to you before, have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Enjoy the holidays. If you're traveling, be safe. And then hopefully we'll see you later this week at the garage sale. But if not, we'll see you next month. Have a great day.